Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. Unchain my heart, set me free.
Good evening and welcome to True Original Artists. Joe Kidd here. Hope everybody's having a great night tonight. We have a great show actually this week, but before I start this show, this is a somber day for us here. We'd like to extend our condolences to all the victims and all the families and friends of the Sutherland Springs, I believe, Sutherland Springs church killings. And it's such a sad time for them there, and my heart goes out and bleeds for them. And so from me and from all of us at SMAC, we really would like to extend our condolences to all those families out there. And now, speaking about today's show, I have two very special friends of mine, but special guests. They're Stoughtonites from day one, raised and born and raised, I should say, right? That's the correct way. Born and raised in Stoughton, Massachusetts. I'd like to introduce them now. We got Butchie and Ronnie Digangi. And everyone knows them as the Ronnie Lewis Expedition, Ronnie Lewis and Clark Expedition, Lewis and Clark Expedition.
That's correct.
And they are well known around here and they're good friends of mine. I'd like to say thank you for coming on the show, guys. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
You guys have been around for a long time and respectively. And I know that I was a fan for years and years when I was a kid. I've exchanged these stories with you guys before.
Yep.
And I want to go back a little bit to those days when you guys first started out with the Ronnie. Ronnie wasn't. It was the Lewis and Clark Expedition, correct?
I just want you to know my mind isn't quite right these days. So.
Listen.
He's getting old.
Listen, you're an old road dog like me, so I understand. No worries.
All right.
But let's go back to those beginning days when you guys first started. We started talking earlier a little bit about where you rehearsed in Stoughton when you guys put this thing together. We brought up the old CYO building in Stoughton, right?
Right across the street from the Immaculate Conception Church.
Correct. So let's go back a little bit.
Right next to Al's store, where I grew up.
Both of you. Interject whenever you want. Anybody can talk, whatever you want to do. Let's talk a little bit about how that all began. You know, who's the one that got all you guys together? Who put it all together? Who used to whip the musicians into shape down there, and who did all that? So, Ronnie, why don't you start a little bit about that?
There was 12 of us. We had a 4-piece horn section. We had the 4-piece brass section. Jimmy Clark and myself. And what we wanted to do was put together a nightclub act and travel and do some recording. The recording was a big part of it too. But we really wanted to have a nightclub act, not just any nightclub act, but something that was going to make people's heads turn.
A show versus
yes.
a band.
So we didn't have choreographers or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We choreographed everything ourselves.
Wow.
Everything was from scratch. So we would go into the CYO hall and we would work all day. We'd work on everything, the routines, the dance steps. And sometimes you'd lose your mind doing it because, again, none of us were dancers.
Wow.
But there was one afternoon we were learning Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, gee, yeah.
And it was during the 4 o'clock Mass. And we were playing it as they came out. And it was a very nice touch, I thought.
Wow.
I don't think Aldo Luca cared for it that much, but the people leaving the church,
That's amazing.
they were very impressed.
That's amazing, though.
Sure.
What timing on that, huh?
Sure. Well, we had done it about 15 times.
Yeah, but still, the timing of them coming out
We had
and
done it
playing that song.
over and over again, 15 times.
That's too funny. So, okay, so you guys got now who got all these players, you or?
Actually, Butch did most of that work for us. Okay. And the players were, to this day, I mean, it's been 48 years.
Right.
And to this day, we still get together with those guys.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, we just went to Vegas and saw one of my trumpet players who produces out there. He's producing the new Righteous Brothers show.
Wow.
So we went out. We had a great time for 4 or 5 days. But when we get together, it's like not a day has passed by.
Isn't that
You
funny?
know,
how
it's
that
a
is?
tremendous. They're just all such great guys, and
It's all
they're
like
all
one
characters.
one big family.
Well, it is. I was just going to say, actually, I was going to go to you, Butch. Since you put all these guys together mostly, did you find it difficult back then to get like those quality players that you guys had? Because I remember, I mean, honestly, I was a fan of you guys from a very young age. I really was. I really respected the fact you guys, I wanted to be like you. When I was a kid, I wanted to be like him. The first time I saw him at Westgate Lounge, I think, in Brockton one time, the first time I saw you guys actually performing in a nightclub was when I turned 18. Because remember the drinking age
Oh,
for a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
went to 18 and then 19 and so on. Well, I'll never forget this, and this is a true story. Walk into Westgate, you guys were there, didn't think nothing of it. All of a sudden I see two guys do cartwheels right across from each other. Like, you remember that?
How do I remember?
No, remember, you remember, am I lying now?
Don't ask me to do it now.
Yeah, but am I lying?
No.
Correct.
No.
I couldn't believe it. I look on stage. I mean, I just walked in the door. As soon as I walked in the door, I look on stage, and here's him and Duke doing cartwheels. I mean, just like two professional acrobatics. I swear to God, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anything like that on a stage.
We
To
should have
this
heard.
day, I still haven't.
Should have heard the screaming.
Oh my God, I believe
As
it.
we were doing the
I believe it.
And
And
screaming.
hey, you did a good. I mean, you guys really did a good job at it. It caught my attention immediately.
Westgate Lounge was a great.
That was awesome.
a
I ended up
great
playing there
place.
years later too myself, but you know something, that was the
good.
best place. It really was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. But now let me go back to that, but I just wanted to add that in because I had to give you kudos for that one. I didn't want to forget that. I thought about that all week, and I said that the tape, I have to remember to mention the cartwheels.
We did that all night long. We had a thing where,
I
where
know.
the two trumpet players would get on our backs and play trumpets.
I know, it was amazing.
All night long.
You guys must have spent months working on that stuff. I can't understand how you did that.
It was brutal.
It was brutal.
Brutal.
The choreography rehearsals were brutal.
That's,
They were. I mean, at some point, someone would just lose it, and we'd.
Now, who was leading all that? Like,
Anyone who had an idea.
really?
Yeah.
So you just tried it?
Yeah,
and-
well, it was the four horn players and Jimmy and I. So anyone who had an idea that would look good and it would work.
Oh my God!
That's what we did.
Now, did you? I mean, you weren't one of those that were too involved in that because you were,
No.
of course, the guitar player. They needed you right
But
there.
we used to go into rehearsal, and as musicians, we would learn the song, okay, which wasn't that hard because we had good players. But once you learn the song, then you'd have to spend 2 hours to choreograph the
right.
song.
Everything that goes on.
Then
between
after that, our light man would have to get up.
look into the camera and tell them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our light
on,
man would have to get
Come
up,
on.
and he'd put the whole light thing together.
So he did the lights and everything, and then
Each song was different.
Every song was a
Choreography,
production.
lights, everything was different.
okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Brutal.
Yeah,
It was
that's a lot of work. I've been in certain situations like that, but the good thing, the difference with me and you guys, I was in the rock scene. It was a whole nother ball game. You guys were in the real nice places, very nice rooms, class acts. You
Well, we
guys-
weren't always in very
No,
nice
but you
rooms.
guys did a good show. I mean, it was a good show. You guys
Well,
still
what
do a
made-
good show.
What made the guys we had special was that they
Yeah.
weren't all just great musicians, but these guys were performers.
Yeah.
They would do anything.
Right.
I mean, we dressed them up as chipmunks.
I know.
And,
yeah.
anything you
Flavor.
Yeah, anything. They would do anything to get a rise and a
That's
laugh.
funny.
That's what made them special.
It
They were
was
special guys.
You know, I actually remember seeing you guys quite a few times after that because when I saw that first time I saw you guys actually performing live at Westgate that time, I never forgot that because I also watched the rest of your show. It wasn't just the cartwheels that impressed me. It was the whole thing, like you just said. It was a package. The whole package together was like clockwork. And I could tell that because I was a musician. By that time, I was older. Now I had been playing also in bands, and I appreciated stuff like that. But I never seen anything like that. So you got me like a step above. I was already a fan, but you dragged me in a little more, and which was cool. I thought was awesome. But the singing and everything, the way his acts on stage, like involving the people, that's what I really respected from Ronnie back then, Butch, because I looked up to that. I wanted to be that. I wanted, not necessarily him, but that's what I wanted to be, like someone that could get up there dance, be part of a fun, exciting, energetic show. And that's what you guys were. I'll give you that, no doubt. Very good band. I loved you guys. I mean, I don't know what happened. Slowly through the years, we all get a little bit, separation and things like that. I understand that. But now, since we're on that right there, so what happened when the change came to cut the horns out and do all that? Like, what happened there?
Well, we were in Atlantic City. We had, I believe
What
there
year
was
about was this, maybe?
1982.
Okay.
Caesars in Atlantic City. I believe that the group was about 8 pieces, 7 or 8 pieces. And the problem with it was you could do the shows in Atlantic City, but once you got back to New England, they were all dance clubs. Everyone was dancing. They weren't into the show thing at all.
Right.
So when you started, you had to do 2 shows. They didn't want you unless you had 2 floor shows. And by the time we hit 82, if you did a floor show, they'd throw things at you.
It was more like a dance band era.
So we basically, at that point, decided to cut it down to 6, 7 pieces, and just go into the dance thing. It was a very difficult thing for us to do because, I mean, now you couldn't find good horn players. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because the money went away, and all the good players that were making a living from it, as soon as it went away,
Right.
they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So around 1982, we became just the straight dance band. We still do things in the course of a night where you go out into the audience and you get them involved.
Yes.
Because if you don't get them involved, it's
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They have to be involved in what you're doing.
I absolutely agree. I'm with you 100%. And like I said, I fulfilled that part that I wanted to do because that's how I became. I'm well known for just like for what you are. I mean, I have more energy than don't ask me where I get it, but when I step on a stage, it's like
That's what
a
happened.
rocket.
That's what happened to me.
Boom. And I see it.
That's
I
what
saw
happened
it
to
in you. I saw it how Duke and him together.
Yep.
They were so explosive, and that's what, like you're right, at that time, not too many bands were like that attention getting like that. Not many bands would stop you short right there like and blow you away like that. And
It was a very competitive market
It
back in
was.
the early 70s.
it
Very
was.
competitive.
Now you didn't work with Tony DeSimone, did you?
I worked with Tony a couple of times.
Now remember, no cussing.
I'm
No
just
cussing
kidding.
about Tony, God bless him.
I'm just teasing you now because
we're on
Butch, I knew that
television.
would get a rise out of Butch. I
we're
thought
on-
he was going to stand up and go find a bucket over there or something.
We had a great agent, Fred Petty. God,
Yeah,
God
Fred
rest
Petty,
his
oh,
soul.
he was the
He was a
nicest man.
tremendous agent, and
Awesome.
he has a picture of him just giving you the finger. It's a
Fred Petty-
sensational picture.
Fred Petty trained Tony DeSimone. That's where Tony
Yeah.
DeSimone came
And
from.
then he split off from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that whole story.
But there's
I was
more
a
to
young
the
kid.
story, and we were on TV, and Tony's probably still alive. I'm gonna.
You think?
God bless him.
God bless you out there, Tony.
Yeah, if you are out there, God bless you.
I'm sure
for
he's
dealing
out
with
there.
all this kind of thing. But go ahead.
But the thing with Atlantic City, before we stopped traveling and stopped working for Caesars, they made me a deal. We'd do 4 months in Atlantic City, 4 months in Vegas, and 4 months in Tahoe. But these guys, I mean, we were all married. Everyone's starting to have kids, and things just didn't rub well at home.
Gotcha.
So it was time to come off the road.
That's another thing I was going to get to. But
Yeah.
since you just got to it, we can go right to that. Because we can sit here all night and days exchanging stories and stuff like that. But I really want to get to moving along as you guys moved along, which I give you a lot of credit for sticking together. I know you two are brothers, but the other guys became brothers.
Yep.
Obviously,
Definitely.
48 years, I mean, you know something, that's a long time. I mean, I thought I had it made when I had the same group of guys for 10 years. I was blessed, and I was. But you know something, it's hard to keep a group together when you're traveling and everybody's got different lives, like you just said. That was the next thing I was going to talk about. But since you brought that up, so who ended up having the family first between you two? Who started having the kids first? You did?
My first was born in 86.
Okay.
But at the time, I mean, there was other guys in the group that had families and
Right.
what have you. And you got to reach a point that the tough thing was that you couldn't go home.
Right.
With the way we had things set up, you couldn't go back home.
Right. It was all hotel.
You know what I mean? You
hotel.
couldn't. They just you wouldn't be able to work.
Right.
So
Right.
They offered for these guys, for all of us, to bring our wives.
Wow, they really did that?
Yeah.
back
But
then?
our wives didn't want to go on the road for the whole year.
I know.
You know, stay at Caesars. I mean, the rooms are beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's
everything.
not the same. It's not home.
Yeah, they wanted to be home.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I get that. Now, as far as the traveling, I mean, so
Now they hate us.
yeah. Well, you know, now you guys
We
want
gave
to
up
travel.
everything, and now they hate us.
Now you guys want to hit the road.
I sit by the phone all day.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should give Tony DeSimone a quick
No,
call. Maybe
no.
you guys can get back
No,
out
I
of
don't think
Vegas.
so.
Get the band back together
No.
like the Blues Brothers.
If I said his name in front of those old timers, they'd say the same thing. Tony who?
I love it. I love it because I happen to know both Tony and Fred. Actually, Freddie booked me.
Fred
for
was a
couple
great
years.
guy.
A great guy.
Tremendous guy.
He was such a nice guy, though.
Well, we were there. Lewis and Clark worked for almost 9 years without a week
Imagine
off.
that. Wow.
Without a week off, 52 weeks a year.
And good places.
And he booked us in an afternoon
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
for the
Put us
entire
in
year.
He put us in Hawaii 3 times.
See that?
2 months at a whack.
Isn't that awesome?
And he would show up for our open night.
He was a great guy.
You know, he was a real agent. You know, he'd be there for your opening
Right.
night.
That's respect.
Yep.
You got to love that. Not too much of that anymore in this business, that's for sure. It's so cutthroat today that it's not even
Oh, yeah.
funny.
What business?
That's it.
Well,
Well, for bands, forget about it now.
it's restaurants and pubs.
Yeah, there's no nightclubs
No
left.
nightclubs left.
Nothing. And even when you do go to see a big show, a presentation, I call them presentations because to go see a band, that's not like it used to be. It's not like 25 years ago. If I'd say, hey, Butch, let's go, I got a great band for us, you'd go, who is it, Carlos Santana? Right? Now you say that, who?
Yep.
Who are we going to see? You know,
Where they gonna go?
yeah, where you going? You know, unless you go to a big, Twin Rivers, maybe. They have a couple of nice rooms,
Yep.
actually. I saw Tony Bennett there a couple of years back, did a great job there. That kind of stuff is nice.
amazing, too.
Oh, he's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
I can't, do you believe that
I
guy's
don't
like
know how he
90
does
now,
it.
right? 90.
Yeah, 90 years old.
Imagine that. Sings like a bird still.
I took my kids to see him. I took both my sons to see him at the Social Music Circus because they weren't crazy about it. But I said, you got to see guys like this because when they're gone, you'll never see them again.
And they learn.
Oh my God, they loved it.
And
They
the
came to me, they were just-
appreciation that you feel when you go in and see somebody like that, that's what I call
Yeah,
polished.
It's tremendous.
Yep. Extremely polished.
Tremendous.
You know, but right now we're right on the time that I would like to take a few minutes here, and we have a clip to go to right now of the boys here playing live, and I believe this one here is you guys at the C Note in Hull. And I think this is actually I picked this particular one because I used to do this song years ago, and I loved the song, and I thought it was great. And Ronnie, you guys did an awesome job with it. So we're gonna play that clip now, and it's called "Me and Mrs. Jones," and this is Ronnie and Butchie playing with the band at the C Note in Hull. So we'll let you guys get a glimpse of this.
Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong to let it go now. We meet every day at the same cafe, 6:30. You know she'll be there, holding hands, making all kinds of plans, while the jukebox plays our favorite song. Me and Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on. strong to let it go now. Now we gotta be extra careful that we don't build our hopes up too high. 'Cause we've got our own obligations, and so do I.
Isn't this awesome? I think this is great. And let's get a group shot over here with the cameras because, you know something? I loved watching that, and you guys must have enjoyed it. This is Memory Day, all right? This is memories and fun.
I love the Cino.
See that?
I did. I love the Cino.
All right. You think I would forget to do this?
Funky little place, the Cino.
I have to bring you guys back into this a little bit to bring back some memories
Yeah,
and some
'cause he
fun spots.
You can't remember last
Don't
Tuesday.
listen to him.
You guys must be brothers.
You can't remember.
I
can't
taught him
remember
everything
last
he knows.
Tuesday, for Christ's
Are
sake.
you kidding me?
The Ronnie and Butchie Show coming up soon. But you know something? On a serious note, though, I agree with you, Ronnie, because that room, the C Note, is one of the best rooms, and they actually, this is a plug out to them, friends of mine over there, Charlie and them, you know, if you ever see this.
Yeah, Charlie. And by the way, if you want to give me a call,
Yeah, they're available.
You know.
They're looking, now the kids, the wives
I
want them
miss
out
you,
of the
Charlie.
house.
I miss you.
Yeah, and the wives want them out of the house.
That's right.
So, anyways, but long story short, as far as those kind of clubs go, you guys can fit anywhere. That's one good thing about your band and everything. You guys cover everything from A to Z, from 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up to now, and that's huge in this business if you want to even play these local places anymore. I know it's not like it used to be, but let me tell you something.
Definitely.
If you're just strictly one way, you're not going to work very much anywhere. I
Yep.
mean, you have to be versatile. You
And
have
the
to
older
be-
you get, the more you have to work. The
That's
more you have to rehearse.
harder work.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, the older, it's very easy to become either senile or get really stale. So you need to always be working on something.
That's true. You're so right about that.
It's
and,
true.
And you don't want to get stale, do you?
Or senile.
Oh, see, now, I
No.
don't want to get either one,
No.
actually. I mean, Butchie, I don't know. What do you feel?
Oh, easy.
Joe, we're doing stuff now in the nightly shows, okay, that I wouldn't have listened to 20 years ago. Wouldn't have even, but I'm playing them. And the people are going crazy.
And you know something?
I
You're
take
liking
that
it.
record and,
But you're liking it.
well, yeah,
You're having fun.
because I'm still able to do it.
He's attacking me, Joe. He's just attacking.
No.
Yes, he is.
I don't know who picks those tunes.
Yeah.
See, now this is what I call brotherly love.
He's attacking me.
Big time brotherly love, and it's great because I've known you guys so long that it's actually refreshing to see this. And I'd like to bring up one more thing before I show another clip here. Now let's go to bring Stoughton in the picture now. You guys, I know you're born and raised both in Stoughton and all that good stuff, and you got your star on high school track. There's a star there, Ronnie Lewis
Oh,
in
really?
the expedition, a gold star there.
I didn't know
For
that.
every 4th of July you play there, they add another
right?
star. You almost got 50,
Really?
so keep going.
Whereabouts is it?
I'm just teasing you now, but honestly, you guys are, and that's wonderful. I think because it's so nice to have. I'm always for that. Bring the talents you have. You have talents in your own town. Why go out and bring them into a celebration in your own town? I was always for that. One thing, I hated when, they had certain events in town, and they would go and get somebody else when they had like guys like you, me, and others, many others, very talented musicians, singers, females, males, in the town of Stoughton. They don't have to go out. So that's really cool that they keep you guys coming back every year for that 4th of July, and I love that idea, and I think that's great because you guys do such a nice job, and the people know you're going to be there, and they come and they support you, and you're from Stoughton, you were raised here, and that's what I think they should be focused a little more on this, because sometimes these I'm not into the politics end of Stoughton or anything. I'm not one of those politics type guy.
Well, you can't get into politics in this line of work anyways.
You can't. And not only that, it's just that these are simple things, simple gestures you can do without involving politics. I mean, bring in the talent that we have in Stoughton and keep for different functions, different things. They have like, you know, they have nice things going on, like the Food for Diane thing is very nice. I performed for a couple of those, which is nice. And they do try to keep it Stoughton, but then they still bring out acts and other people from out of town when they only play for 1 hour and they're paying money for these people when we, from here, we would give them a break or practically do it for nothing and everybody knows us. So it's nice to see that 4th of July they keep sacred. And they do that. Because
that's one of the dates in the year that I truly look forward to.
I know.
Because again, you see,
I look forward to it all year long.
Imagine that.
Just to stand there so I can look at the high school.
That's right. That's
you know where I went when I was a kid. You know?
and see the people that you grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, because they come back every year, and it's you can't forget where you came from.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't care where you go or what you do. You can't forget where you came from.
That's exactly where I'm going with that. And I want to say thank you for that to you guys because I know you guys are true to the town. You know, we see each other all the time at Thanksgiving. And, you know.
Is that you?
That's me. Well, I usually I get
What
the
time
holidays
do I-
mixed up.
do I
I
see
use
you
my
closer?
Halloween mask on Thanksgiving.
I don't see you closer to 11. Around 11 o'clock.
Come on. I'm the biggest
everything's
turkey
foggy,
in town.
Joe.
Come on, what's
I'm
wrong
very
with you?
foggy at around 11 o'clock.
No, I usually see
And
you
we'll
at
see you
8
this
in the morning.
And we'll see you this Thanksgiving too.
No,
That's
that's when we
right.
start is 8 in the morning.
But you know something? That is a very nice tradition we still have.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to get to that too. But I look forward to that kind of stuff every year too. That kind of the town stuff where we get to see all our friends and everybody congregates at the same time. We got the football game, breakfast at the Knights of Columbus in Stoughton, by the way. Plug for them because I know this will be out before that. Thanksgiving morning. Isn't it Thanksgiving morning?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. I just want to make sure of that. I want to make sure these two didn't really go
Stick with me,
senile.
Joe, okay?
Thank you.
I'll get
Carry
you
me,
through it.
carry me. But anyways, the Knights of Columbus in Stoughton on Seaver Street, I believe, and right near Washington Street and Seaver Street behind the bank with the clock. That's how I know that bank. But anyways, Thanksgiving Day morning, breakfast there, best breakfast, donates to the place, and also a lot of people from Stoughton go there every year. We have a great time. You're welcome to stop in. And okay, now we have another thing, another little surprise that I want to bring up here. Can we bring up a clip of one of those photos from that collection that I gave you? Oh, that's a beautiful
I like
picture.
it.
Yes.
That's a nice picture.
I love that pink suit. That was pink.
Yes, it was. I actually remember that suit.
What were we drinking? God only knows.
You know something? That could have been New Year's Eve.
No. I'm going to tell you exactly where that was.
That's what I was hoping.
No. We were in Buffalo, New York, at a place called the Executive Inn. And it snowed for 3 weeks. It never stopped snowing. It was the worst place I've ever worked in.
Wow.
It was like, I hate snow.
That's why you were drinking on stage?
So Fred Petty decided to bring the guy in from Hawaii, the guy that books the entertainment at the club that we worked in Hawaii, and he brought him up in Buffalo. The guy walked in. He was completely tanned, and he had a lay on.
Oh my God!
And it was snowing. Like he just kind of stared at us for like an hour, and then he said, "How would you guys like to go to Hawaii?" I said, "Are you kidding? Really? Let's go right now."
Wow!
It's the worst.
And that was the first
Snowed for
Hawaii
days.
trip from there.
Oh yeah.
The next time that we went back to this
Can we
place,
bring that picture up one more time, please?
I was much younger.
Go ahead,
too.
Butch. What were you gonna say?
the next time that we went back to this place was in the summer, and
It snowed then too.
I couldn't
That's
sleep.
Buffalo for you.
I couldn't sleep one night, so I got up early, and there was a big arcade downstairs, so I went down to play pinball. And I'm playing pinball. It's like 9 o'clock in the
We
morning.
can get Butchie's face back for this one because I know I want to see this. Go ahead.
It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. So this big tall guy walks in. There's two machines down. He's playing pinball. So I looked over. I'm standing there playing pinball with Johnny Cash.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was at the Buffalo Auditorium or something.
No, there's one of those tents up there like Cohasset.
Oh.
And he was staying at the
Like,
executive.
like the South Shore Music
Yeah.
Circus.
Actually,
Nicest-
he stayed on one complete floor.
Nicest
He traveled
guy.
with his entire family, everybody, aunts,
Right.
uncles, everything.
Wow, the whole entourage.
Very nice. We went down and talked with him, and he was very, very nice.
That's
Good guy.
awesome.
So I'm playing pinball. He had seen our show the night before on the closed circuit thing upstairs. We're talking. So I said, listen, can I bring Lewis and Clark down here? We can take a picture. So I had to wake these two meatballs up out of bed, him and Duke. And they came down. And the guy was about this much taller than him. I didn't realize he was that
Wow.
big. Big guy.
No kidding.
He was very nice, though.
That's funny.
We had
Now,
some
see,
lunch.
this is what I mean. You know, that's right. How about bringing up another past shot there that I gave you?
You're killing me, Joe. You're just killing me.
CJ's doing a great job.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
this. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I can't tell that story.
No, you can't.
No.
Now,
on television.
Any stories that we cannot say in public to
Why don't-
family
why
and
don't you?
children?
You might as well now, but
No.
you started.
Hey,
We
don't-
took one of these pictures, that same particular stance, and we
Right.
were all naked. stark
No
naked.
way.
Yeah, I
Did
don't
you?
know what ever became of it. You don't have it, do you?
No, I don't. I
Okay,
couldn't
please.
find that one, but I'll look.
Please,
we just
don't-
did it
don't
to
bring
freak
up.
out our manager.
That's
We
so,
sent it to the manager.
oh,
To our
that's
manager,
funny.
you know, so when he got the proofs.
We sent
Here's
it-
our new promo
this is the
shot.
New big band picture.
I love it. Now
Lost his
listen,
mind.
this is funny. Let's look at this picture for 1 second, CJ. All the guys. It's so funny because when I think back, because my hair was the same.
That was
I
a
mean,
tremendous band. By the
That
way.
hair on everybody's head is amazingly perfectly cut. I mean, that you could not even. That's no Photoshop there.
No.
That's the real McCoy right there.
Yep.
And you guys always looked this good on stage. Every time I saw you guys somewhere, you guys looked very, very.
That's Bob.
It was like a wedding picture, huh?
Bobby Michaels and John Thomas. Dennis is still with us.
He's still with us.
Dickie Feeney is, again, producing shows in Vegas. Butchie, you look, my God, Butchie, I don't know whether
Have you seen Butchie lately?
yeah.
Wow.
Who, Clarky?
Yeah.
I see, again, all of these guys, we get together. Billy DeMeo, my drummer. John Foster was an amazingly talented kid, played bass, and he's still out there working. And Jack is at the very end.
Yes.
He was one of the founders of the group.
Yes, exactly. I remember Jack actually. Didn't he play one of the horns too? He played
No,
guitar.
Jack was my
and
keyboard player and
right,
guitar.
Right, right. Now these pictures must be bringing back some nice
I
memories.
don't believe he's got these pictures. Those are great. Are you kidding
yeah,
me?
Yeah,
That's
I made
fantastic.
sure I got a good collection. I'm not done yet, but I got some baby pictures
He's
for
got
you
the
too.
Just as long as you don't
You
tell
were
anybody.
still in your diapers in some of these. I
Just
got to watch out what I
as
put
long
up
as you
there.
don't tell anybody how old I am, Joe.
No, never. But
Actually,
anyways,
just
Because
turned-
if you do, you won't see me
just turned
Thanksgiving.
70.
did he really? It's your
Saturday
birthday?
night.
Happy birthday!
He's a 70-year-old guitar picker. It's
Wow.
absolutely, it's unheard of.
That's
I mean,
great.
he's the only one in existence.
I
Joe.
can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's amazing.
He doesn't look a day over 70.
Wow.
God
That's
bless
why
He doesn't actually.
him. No.
That's why people come to see us play, to see if I'm going to make it out the door at the end of the night.
See? There you go. Who's
let's-
the show now?
No,
Who's the show now?
That's true. They come in to see that.
They come in, they say, let's see if Butch Digangi is going to make it standing up all night.
Let me tell you. Now, this is what you call entertainment. This is serious business here. I mean, that's why I got these guys. You know, I'm not messing around now in Stoughton here with true original artists. These are true original artists right here, these two guys. And, you know, something, I'm very happy to have them on the show because I'm having a great time with you guys. Now, let's go a little beyond that now. And I got another clip here. Can we show that other video clip, please, CJ? And please forgive me on the show tonight because I'm being very loose with everything. And I'm talking to CJ, my producer and director in there behind the scenes. Plug out to you. He does a great job. And I'm so happy to have him on my team. But there is another clip here with the guys playing. And I'm going to let you guys watch this a little bit too. And we'll talk about some things after this.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived.
and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stand, there's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Come here. Here, sing them on in. Come on. Sing them on in. Me and George are going to sing them on in. Here we go. Come here, George. Everybody sing them on in. Here we go. I love you, baby. Let's play it all right. I need your baby. Take all the lonely night. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say. Everybody sing. Oh, pretty baby. Open the door, my friend. Oh, pretty baby. Now that I want to stay, I let me love you, baby. Let me love you.
Wow, that is amazing. Now,
great.
isn't that nice to see way back then? You take some old pictures and you take some old clips from old performances and you put them all together and you create all these nice memories that you can bring back and kind of like,
Fantastic.
you know, and that's what I like to do too on this show. That's what my show's about. You know, when you guys leave, I want you guys to have the same feeling that I have when I leave like a show. When I go see you guys play and I go home, you know, I kind of, wow, that was fun. That was nice, you know. And that's what I try to project on my show is I want to make sure that not just the people out there are enjoying the show, but my guests will always have a chance to, you know, laugh a little bit, have a little fun, and enjoy being part of this with me and extending our pasts and our education in music and our, you know, everything we believe in. And I know we're all passionate of the music scene. I know we all are here, sitting here. And I don't think there's any guest that I ever had on the show or will have that if I don't feel that they have the passion that I have, I just won't get them on the show. That's all. Not a big deal, but I deal with real passion.
That's what I tell him all the time, Joe. I'm 70, I'm still doing it, but when it ceases to be fun, I'm gone.
There you go. There you go.
When it ceases to be fun, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Absolutely, and I agree.
I don't care about the money or any of that. As long as it's fun, let's go do it.
Who's older, you or him?
Him.
I was going to say, he was really giving it
Honest
to
to
you.
God, Joe,
And he
really?
had to be a
You're
younger
gonna ask me
brother.
that question?
No, because he had to
Seriously?
be. He had to be because you're right. He's always giving it to you. Those younger brothers always seem to do that, right?
No,
I'm lying, Joe.
He looks
I know
young.
you are.
He looks younger because he's short.
I know you are.
I'm 5 years older than him.
Of course, I knew you were. I
Of
knew
course
you
he
were.
is.
Of course, I
Did
knew.
you hear that out there? 5 years old.
But I look
all
5
all
years
right.
longer.
I was just teasing. I wanted to see more of that brotherly love
that has
come
always
out.
been important to me. Is the lifestyle.
It is.
I
It
mean,
is.
we did a couple of albums. Different world in a recording studio.
Oh, yeah.
Recording studios. We were one of the most exciting show groups on the East Coast for
Yes,
years.
absolutely.
But when you went into a studio,
Right.
it was daunting to say the least. So we cut 2 albums. I did an album in '82 of just cover songs. But in '74, '75, we went into the studio, Record Plant, New York, with Joe Renzetti, who won an Academy Award for the Buddy Holly story,
Oh,
musical
wow, nice,
adaptation.
nice.
And we went in there with this guy, and he was brilliant. The guy was absolutely brilliant. But we were 20 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like we were always stronger on stage.
Yeah.
In the recording studio, it was tough.
It's 2 different worlds. You're
It
right.
is.
I've been in both myself, and I agree 100%.
It's hard to get that excitement on vinyl.
And
You know
not
what I
only
mean? It's
that,
tough.
you're right, because not only that, it's that psyche from you know, like the crowd,
Yes.
everything, the whole.
That's exactly
even
what it is.
Baseball players, football players, the same thing. The stadium starts screaming,
Yep.
you get that fire under your butt, and you're going, you know.
Yep.
And it's the same. You're right. Now, as far as the energy and everything else that we all have, I have to admit, as far as I go, and I believe you guys still have it too. When we walk on a stage, it's amazing, right? You can be dead as a doornail, exhausted, worked 15 hours that day, but you go home, jump in the shower, get in your car, get into the stage. And as soon as you walk on that stage, what happens, right?
Well,
Your knees start to ache.
And you start going, is it time to go home yet?
No,
when we
no,
started,
I tell these guys all the time. I tell them before we go on, make sure you enjoy this because you never know. I mean, next week they could all tell us to take a hike,
Yeah.
and we'll never work again.
That's too
So
funny.
you better enjoy it.
when we first turned professional, we used to go 35 to 40 nights in a row
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe
and just be dragging. But as soon as the lights come up,
Yep. That's what I'm
bada
saying.
bing.
Isn't that true? I mean, honestly,
everyone's jumping and jiving.
I've been there. I worked at Northrop in Norwood for 21 and a half years, and full-time job, regular day job. And let me tell you, when I went on the full-time circuit at night, we were playing, but I stuck around here. I didn't want to travel because of my day job, but I still did all the Holiday Inn and Peabody. We did Frank's. You guys did Westgate because Frank's liked the rock stuff a little
Yep.
bit more than Westgate.
So I did Frank's too.
You did Frank's too, but back then it was a competition clause.
Yep.
They wouldn't have let us because we started playing at Frank's, and I actually filled in on guitar for Marsha Rose and Holiday was a group that would play there, and their guitar player broke his hand, and I came on stage and I filled in one night, and they said, "Oh, you got to play with us when we were in Brockton. You got to play with us. We got another guy that can do it when we're elsewhere." But Frank's was competing with Westgate at one point.
Yeah.
They were saying if you
Westgate
play at Westgate,
didn't want
you
us-
can't play
yeah,
us.
right.
You can't play here.
Exactly, yep.
And that was the deal. So you could play at both, but if you played at this one this week, you couldn't play at that one next
Forget
week.
it.
You'd have to either
Yeah.
play here for a while and then stop playing there and then go to the other one, right? That's how it used to be.
But you know something I've learned too, as the years go by, and I've learned things. And my manager, Buck Spur, God rest his soul, used to tell you, he used to say to me, sometimes it's more impressive when you go out on the stage and you work to 12 people. And you work the same way you'd work for 1,200.
That tells you.
Far more impressive,
That tells you everything.
as if you got a packed house.
Absolutely.
I never forgot what he said to me.
And you're absolutely right.
I mean, I've gone some places where there's 15 people and 8 of them don't like you.
You're right.
But you still have to work to the ones that do like you.
And
You
that's
have
all,
to go
that
and get
comes
them.
from here.
And then they're impressed with it at the end of the
Yeah.
night. Club owners too.
No,
Very
you're right.
impressed with it.
You're very right. That's experience talking anyway, right there, because experience teaches us that in this business. Because I agree 100%. You know, I don't honestly, I don't care if there's 5 people out there. 'Cause
Exactly,
we've all done those gigs. You get
Because,
booked for a
well-
party, and there's supposed to be 50 people, and there's 5, and then there's supposed to be 300, and there's 50.
And a lot of musicians, performers, they pack it in when they see
Yeah,
it. As soon as they see it, they pack it in. Not a good
it.
idea.
Then it's work.
They,
Then it becomes work. for
no,
the night.
actually, there's a lot more work involved when there's
It
nobody
is.
there.
It is.
But
It is.
to back off and lay down, not a good idea.
No, you're right, man. I agree with you 100%.
It won't last long in this line of work today.
No. And so on that note, I'd like to see if I can bring up one more. I know we have a couple more, but let's bring up another picture from the past and see if they remember where this was taken, CJ. How about that?
I tell you that.
And
That
who
was
do you
epic.
look like right there?
like a
Can I
little-
say who you look like right
Go
there?
ahead.
You know, I was looking at the picture too. I'm not saying this out of my head here. I actually saw another picture, and I thought it was you because when I saw this one first, and it was Leif Garrett. Honest
You're
to
right.
God,
I remember, yeah.
back then, Leif Garrett has a picture on the internet. I didn't save it, but I was going through pictures when I was looking for these for you, and I saw one of Leif Garrett, exactly same pose, same thing, and I thought it was the same picture actually until I started looking. Then I read the bottom and it said Leif Garrett. No, that's not Ronnie.
Do you know where we were? We were at the Brothers Four in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's where that picture
Oh
is.
my God! Now what year?
I got a story for you.
What year was that?
Oh, that had to be.
What, were you 20 there or something maybe?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You had to be.
At least.
Right.
At least 20, 21.
That's funny.
But they used to have name acts in there. They would have name acts like on Sundays. They'd bring a name like Ray Charles
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
there. I saw his show there. Ray Charles was amazing. But they booked Cheech and Chong into this place. And did you ever see the Brothers Four in Nashua?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the line went from the front door down
And didn't
through
it go
the
down-
parking
yes,
lot to the
exactly.
street.
Yeah, it was
to
a
get
hill
in
like.
to see these guys.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they're taking tickets, and 10 minutes before they go on, no Cheech and Chong. They're not there. And so the club owner was absolutely flipping out, going crazy. So these two guys, they're in line, waiting to get in, and they drive. Oh, I come from the doorman. The doorman says, "You got your tickets?" The two guys looked at him and said, "We're Cheech and Chong." The guy goes, "What?" He goes, "We're Cheech and Chong." He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "We're waiting in line." He goes, "No, you guys are supposed to come in."
Oh my God!
10 minutes before they're supposed to go on.
Are you kidding
They're
me?
outside waiting in line.
The two of them guys were crazy anyhow.
They're
Oh,
crazy.
they were.
They were crazy as
Oh
hell.
my God! You got to be kidding. That is
No.
hilarious.
Waiting in line to get.
That's hilarious. Waiting to get into their own show.
They were hysterical.
Oh yeah, they're hysterical. I mean, back then they were big.
Oh,
A short
That's too
time
funny.
after, he went up to see Ray Charles, and they made him and the club owner sit outside in the log. They wouldn't let him in. Him and the club owner.
Oh my
There wasn't enough room.
Are you serious? You couldn't even stand up or nothing. They wouldn't let you.
No, they put him and the club
I
owner
tell you what,
outside.
he had a full orchestra too, but the only song I remember was Georgia. He played it on piano, just him and the piano. Oh my God. Phenomenal.
Melting.
Oh,
Yeah, I hear that. All right, I think we have one more picture that we can bring up, right? I think, CJ? Yeah, that's the picture. That's the one I wanted to see right
God.
there. That's
Really?
That's the picture of the year right there.
Oh, my God.
That is a beauty.
do you know where we took
I
that?
love this picture.
I know where we took that. That was Blackwell's. Remember
Yeah, in
Blackwell's?
Stoughton?
Used to take those
Stoughton?
god-awful...
Yeah, the family photos and
no,
stuff.
they used to take the pictures in the yearbook.
Oh, in the school.
yeah, they
that's
should have
right.
been arrested, those people.
That's right. That's right.
that's Blackwell's.
That is hilarious.
Isn't that great?
Oh, my
Oh,
God,
I
that's
knew
beautiful.
you'd love this one because when I saw this, I said, this is a keeper for sure.
Yeah, that is.
And look at that. Now watch this. This is what caught my
Joseph,
attention.
I get a huge bang out of you. Good for you. Good, because that's...
He wasn't even old enough to be in nightclubs,
Nope.
Ronnie.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about this picture? I was going to tell you what grabbed my attention. Not even those two guys. The two mic stands, they held them exactly the same angle, the same hand, and look at their right fists where they are.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. It was like you guys weren't in sync,
was,
right?
That was black.
I mean, you couldn't even plan that.
That was black.
Am I right or wrong? You couldn't even plan
No,
that.
no. The way I was, we probably rehearsed the whole thing.
I
know
don't.
what I mean?
That doesn't look rehearsed to me for some strange reason, honestly.
I tell you what, we had more. I have more memories of Clarky. Clarky was
He
was a tremendous
He was.
performer. We had a lot of fun, and he had a terrible stuttering.
Yeah,
problem.
that was another thing. Tell us about that.
He
I
used
remember
to-
that.
My brother used to torment Clarky.
Oh, yeah.
We were best friends since we were this big. I never tormented him.
Yes, he did.
No, but I know what you're saying. No, I got
He'd
you.
torment me, and I'd torment him.
he has a recording. Of
More
Clarky.
brotherly love.
And he had a
Exactly. He
rec-
was
has
like
a
our
rec-
third brother. I
has
was
a-
going to bring him on tonight, but the show would have been 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. No, we can come back again for that. We can come back again for that. But go ahead, Ronnie. What
And I
you
hope
gonna
he
say?
sees this,
He-
because he knows I'm
Shout
kidding.
out to you,
We
Clarky.
were working the Inn on the Park in Toronto, and Clarky used to love room service. He got a huge charge out of room service, and he taped Clarky ordering room service. It was the most hysterical 5 minutes you've ever heard.
No, serious.
Yeah, no, she'd and the
Oh,
phone would hang
no.
up. It
And the
was
room service hung
hysterical.
up on him twice. He had to call back.
It was
That's
the
hilarious.
funniest thing you've ever heard.
Oh my God, that's that's
Clarky
terrible.
he had a great sense of humor.
Yeah, he did.
And we
Clarky.
both laughed through the whole
Yes,
thing.
we did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I just want to touch on something real quick while we're on this, because just in case anybody out there didn't pick that up, his partner in crime there with the expedition when they had the big bin was Duke. What was it?
Lamar.
Duke Lamar, and he's right. Great singer, sang like a bird, no problem. But when he spoke, he did have a severe stutter. And
Yes.
that's what we're talking about. So for those of you that didn't catch that whole thing, he stuttered really badly. And so that's why Ronnie is bringing that up with Butch regarding Butchie picking on him because he stuttered and stuff. And once again, to repeat that, with the order, he put a phone order in, and it took him how long?
About 5 or 10 minutes.
10 minutes to
I
put an
believe it
order
was
in.
just for a grilled cheese sandwich and some French fries.
Right.
But he was like our third brother, since he was this big. I mean, he actually lived in the same house with us.
Yes.
Right.
When his parents died.
That's funny.
So
Unbelievable.
it was all in good fun.
Oh, of course
you know.
it was. I had plenty of friends like that. If you can't do that with friends, you're done.
Right.
Well, we
Exactly.
were more than just friends because
Right.
we basically lived together for
Exactly.
like 12 years. I
Right.
mean, we were always together. which made it that much nicer.
Now,
It
who
was-
painted your bus? I mean, you know, they. It's so funny because these guys had a bus like the Partridge Family. That's who I first thought about when I seen their buses around town. It was red, white, and blue, and it was all painted up. and-
We recorded a song called "Wake Up America," and it was a bigger bomb than Hiroshima.
Wow.
And they released it during the Vietnam War.
Oh.
It just wasn't good timing at all.
Right.
And we the guy that wanted us to do the particular song said, "I'll buy you a bus." And
Really?
we paid him $1 for the bus.
You're kidding.
He bought it and painted it, everything.
Yeah, that was Arthur Stivaleta.
That
He
was
was out
Arthur
of Dedham.
Stivaleta.
He was
You're from Norwood.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the Stivaleta. You think I don't know the Italian paisanos?
He
I'm a
was
Portuguese
very-
paisan.
Arthur was. I don't know if he's even still with us.
I
or
think
not.
he is.
Is he?
Yes, I think he is. I
But he
believe
was
is. I know.
very-
I know his kids. None of them didn't turn out that great. But
Very patriotic. I mean, he was just all for the troops and all for it. Nothing wrong with that
Yep.
at all. I just think the timing of it was. It was just tough. I mean, there was so much dissension in the country.
Right.
And for us to release it at that particular
Yeah.
time, I think it wasn't a bad tune. It was just that I just think the
no,
timing.
timing is everything. Actually, I mean, it does play a big part in all
We
that.
did ride in the. Didn't we ride in the, what parade was that in New York City?
That's when the
Yeah,
troops
Bill-
came home from Vietnam.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But in return for the bus, we had to record the song, and he had to put "Wake Up America" on the side of it, you know. So
That's what we did.
we had to live
I'm
with
telling you, that was the coolest thing, though, because when I first saw the bus, I really, I first saw it driving by somewhere, wherever, and I went like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know whose was. I didn't know what. And then I see the expedition or something on it written, and that's when I knew. I put one and one together. But otherwise, I was like, oh my God, look at this bus. It was an attention getter.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Chip Housen, the guy that.
it. He's from Stoughton too, yeah.
Yeah,
Chip.
he's a Stoughton dude too, but he was absolutely the best road guy.
Oh,
road manager
don't you
you've ever
love
seen.
them guys?
We were never late for anything.
You gotta love that.
He would drive 12, 15 hours, need be, to get us to where we needed to go.
Now, did you guys back then, just out of curiosity, did you guys supply your own sound systems back then too, or
Yes.
did the
Yep.
clubs have them? You
No,
did too. Yeah, because
we
we
were
had
all-
Voice of the Theaters back then, those big, huge things.
Yeah, we had 4 of them. We were all self-contained, lights and everything.
That was crazy.
We had a 2-man road crew, but you could never find them. They were busy with other things.
Oh, I'm sure they
It's
were.
a good thing that bus can't talk.
Well, you know something. Well, you know something.
Please.
It's funny about road guys and road crews. I mean, I think that's why you don't pay them. All the benefits, all the fringe benefits,
We paid them well. You just could never find them.
and the fringe benefits were good too.
Can you
right?
help me pick
I
up
don't,
this?
I don't know
Can
anything
you help me
about.
pick up this B3 because I don't know where the other two are.
The B3 is an organ, actually, so
Huge.
you don't know
He weighs
that.
about 3,000 pounds.
Now you know Chip's going to watch this. You know,
I
he's
hope
in
he
Stoughton.
does.
He's
Yeah.
still in Stoughton. He's going to watch this.
That
he
is-
does.
He'll be on the phone just like that.
Yep, that's funny.
Actually, Chip was a tremendous
Yeah.
asset. For
No,
the
I
group.
had a couple
He
of guys
really
like
was.
that too, and we definitely count on those guys. They're a big part. I know they're behind the scenes, but they really are.
Yeah.
They're
We
important.
we finished in Huntsville, Alabama on a Saturday night. We had to open in Halifax, Nova Scotia on Tuesday.
And we had to stop in downtown Boston at the Bradford Hotel to get the contracts. And Chip still got us there.
He still got us there. It
I don't know how he did it. I slept the whole
was the
way.
worst trip I've ever been on.
That's crazy. I know. I certainly don't miss those long hauls and those winter.
I went out
shows
on
and-
stage. My fly was completely down.
His fly
Didn't put
was
on my
down.
fly.
You didn't even know.
Nope. Sang the whole first song
Oh,
like this.
that's funny.
And I said, when we open, we open.
I love it. I love it. That's great. All right. So, anyways, I do want to. We're getting close to the end here, but I did want to extend out. If you guys want to say hello to anybody out there from Stoughton, you want to give out a couple of shout outs. Butchie, go ahead. You want to say
I
hi
just
to
want
your,
to say hey to the whole town of Stoughton.
and your family and all them. You're not
Yep.
going to forget them, are you?
Well, actually, I don't have any family there anymore. My parents have passed away.
Okay.
He's in Braintree. Now, my sister's in Brockton.
But
Hi,
my
Deb.
heart is in Stoughton.
But
Well, they're still there.
that's just very special to me, the whole town of Stoughton.
That's great. That's great. And what about you, Ronnie? Anybody in Stoughton
Well,
around that you want
first
to?
of all, I want to apologize to the Italian guy I sang to in that one clip there because I knew he didn't want to be there, so I want to apologize.
And what's his name? Let's send him a nice hello.
Oh, George Scala?
Yeah,
I'll
George.
say his name.
I I have to apologize to George Scarlett. I didn't mean to do that, but again, I knew he didn't want to be there. But
That's funny. But you got to love it. And, that's another thing that I really try to do with, trying to do with the show and everything. I bring it back to, I was in Easton for quite a while with it for almost 4 years. And I love doing it.
Yeah, last time I saw your show, you were in Easton.
Yep. But the thing is, too, what's good about coming to Stoughton, I ended up moving back to Stoughton about 3 years ago. We ended up buying my aunt's old house, which was a lot of memories and talk about family and stuff like that. It was important to me. So I'm there now, and I love being back in Stoughton because everywhere you go, you run into somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's home. Like you said,
Yep.
there's no place like home. It's really
Exactly.
true. And even though you're out of town, like you said, and Stoughton's home. I mean, I still see you on the important times throughout the year. Thanksgiving is a very important time of the year.
Yep.
You're always here. I'm sure you're visiting family and stuff,
I
friends.
still see the kids I graduated with.
See?
I still see them once a year.
Isn't
When
that
they have
great?
a big get together when we go.
That's nice.
Special to me.
It is
So it's-
special.
I enjoy coming home. I think Stoughton's I still think Stoughton's a great time. to this day.
Absolutely. Stoughton's getting to be one of those, almost like I want to go back and say like those small towns back in the old days that you kind of can still look back and actually really kind of look at it like that. It's not like one of those fast-paced, like going into a city type scene. I want to almost say Mayberry RFD type thing, but not that mellow. But I mean, when you look back, like now that we're older, if we look back, that's what we're going to remember. And those things, like I remember riding my bike, like I said, to go see you guys practice at the CYO, and we'd sit outside the window and listen to you guys. When I was like 13, 14, riding our bike, there was no problems. There was nothing, I could hear my mother scream for dinner, from Border Street all the way down to the CYO building,
That's all changed.
Yeah,
it's all different
changed. It's all
Sometimes I get up and I drive to Stoughton for no reason at all.
Automatically.
For no reason. Just to ride around and
I
look.
mean, I remember Skunk Witten. Remember Skunk Witten?
On the bike. Oh my God.
He used to come
remember?
towards us. My mother used to say, "Stay close to me."
Yeah. Everybody used to say that. That's
I saw
so
him on the
funny.
Johnny Carson show.
Really?
Yeah, they had him on the
No,
Johnny
what was
Carson show.
that? Was just
But
because
he
he
was
was.
the country's oldest pioneer, they said.
Oh my God, he was a pioneer.
Yeah,
Man. He was a pioneer when I was a kid.
Sure was.
I was friends with him. I thought he was a saxophone player. Someone told me he was a sax player, and I didn't know that they were pulling my leg.
Do you remember Skunk Witten? No, he was a...
Because I actually do remember. I
Yeah.
do.
I was going to ask him if he wanted a job.
That's so funny. Oh my God. You guys are too much. But anyways, we're coming down and to the last few seconds of the show, and I just want to really say thank you to everybody that watches the show all the time.
We'll be at AmVets the night before Thanksgiving. AmVets in Randolph.
Oh, there you go.
Come on down
Yeah.
and be with us.
Randolph AmVets, actually very fun place. Randolph AmVets.
Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and that's the night to go out. Everybody's out. That's the place to be.
And
Go down.
the three of us will be at the Knights of Columbus Thanksgiving morning.
That's correct. If you want to take pictures with us, any autographs, anything like that, we'll be ready. I want to say thank you to Ronnie and Butch. It's been a real pleasure.
Thanks
you
for
guys.
having
Honest
us.
to God.
Thank you very much.
Very
Thanks
much.
for having
And
us.
I
Thanks
love
for
you
having us,
guys.
too.
I respect you guys a lot, and I look forward to seeing you guys around town. and
We'll
all
see
that
you
stuff.
Thanksgiving morning.
We have a lot of things in common, music particularly, but family is also
Yep.
very important to me. So I'm sure I'm Portuguese, but I have the heart of an Italian. So if that's any good.
My grandson's coming down that morning, too. I have a new grandson. He'll be
Oh,
there.
nice. How old now?
2 months.
That's
We'll
new.
get a picture of him and Joe Kidd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take a picture.
We'll take
with
some
him.
pictures.
Sure.
Absolutely, no doubt. Well, listen, thank you very much, everybody. And Joe Kidd here saying good night for true original artists. God bless.
Please set me free.